Liz Jonson coming up. And Marshall, you know, Liz Jonson averaged 220 as she got through the qualifying, the lowest among all the players. Lynda Barnes averaged 247. What do you think they're thinking about going to this match?
Well, I know that they were very interested spectators watching the previous match, watching the lanes transition. You know, it's so much about getting that right ball in your hand and getting off to a good start. Liz Jonson, lane 25.
And Deandra, we looked at the scoring before we went on the telecast, and we said if the lanes get a little tough, and it looked like they were in the first match, that actually Jonson had a slight advantage because she goes hard and straight. What's your opinion?
You know what? I just don't think that there's anybody better playing this pattern in the world than Liz Jonson. So it's going to be hard to beat her.
All right. We'll see what Barnes does. She's a tough competitor.
She just loved it. Came off her hand very clean, went through the heads just beautifully, but the 6-pin went right around the bottom of the 10.
Is that a good sign or a bad sign?
Well,
threw it well.
I've got to think that if you get it off your hand properly, you know, that helps to get you in the flow of the match. So if the ball didn't strike, sometimes great shots don't strike. Once again, like all of our ladies, she'll be going with the harder plastic ball straight at the 10-pin.
Let's take a look at what Lynda Barnes carries to the bowling center for her tournament.
My game plan for today is to start with this ball here. It's my Spitfire. It's a good medium ball with good back-end reaction. If I need a little more length with back-end reaction, I'm going to go to my Thunderstruck. If I need something to even it out a little bit, I'm going to go to my Special Agent. And for a great new ball, I have my Attitude Shift, which is, with this drilling, the lengthiest with the most continuation. And hopefully this ball I won't get to use at all, but that's my spare ball.
All right, second frame.
Oh, the only thing I can think after that shot is Chris who?
Well, you know, Deandra, the first couple of shots, I don't care if you bowled on the tour as long as Marshall Holman or any of these ladies, it's still tough under the lights. It's a different scenario in here. You have a big crowd in here, and it's nice and quiet. Let's see what Liz Jonson can get out to an early lead. If she strikes here, she'll have a 10-pin lead. Second frame.
You can see she doesn't want to overthrow the ball. Great shot from Jonson. Really just the consummate control player, and this pattern really does suit her well.
Liz Jonson has a lot of great speed control, but she needs different bowling balls also.
Today I'm going to start out, my benchmark ball would be my Agent. If I want something to go a little bit longer, is my Shift. It has a little bit more length and a little archier back end. And if I need something to still go long but continue, our new Shift Attitude will be the one to go to. And then I have my Storm spare ball.
And she leaves the weak 7-pin. The 5-pin just didn't quite drive over there.
Deandra, we've seen today, and maybe it's the pressure of the U.S. Open, but we haven't seen the pins quite carry. I don't say it's a luck quotient, but I think it's a matter of being relaxed, and the pressure makes it a little tougher.
It's for a national huge title, so it takes some time to settle in, make those good shots.
And the pins understand. They know what you're feeling.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah, they don't care. The pins don't care who you are, but they can tell if the ball's rolling down their right.
That is correct, Marshall. Okay, Lynda Barnes up, third frame, trails by 9, could take the lead with a strike.
Left the solid 10 last time on lane 26. Really wants to just repeat that same shot. He gets it into an early roll, but did not come back up the pocket. You could hear Barnes saying that was a terrible shot. Now she leaves herself with a real tough lead. The 2-pin, the 4-pin, and the 8.
Deandra, it's tough to tell if she just lost it off her hand or the lane's a little slicker.
Yeah, it just seems like it just didn't have enough pop in the back end. It just didn't get there.
Only she knows if it was the kind of release that she wanted.
Well, it didn't seem like it from her reaction.
Correct myself, that's the 2, the 5, and the 8.
Tough spare to shoot. I don't know if I'd want to shoot that right now.
Now they often say that children emulate their parents, but the Barnes children take it a little bit farther. Here is Ryan tell me he doesn't look like his father's form. And what about Troy? Think he has been watching his mom a little too much? And watch this, Marshall.
It's priceless.
Watch the end here.
Yes. Well, no problem for Mom on lane 25 as she strikes.
Much better shot.
Family affair here.
Well, those high fives got to hurt. Jonson working on a spare. 9 pins ahead.
Wow, that was in, and it held.
You can hear her say push, push, push. When she's saying that, what is she talking about?
She just wants that ball to lay off. She doesn't want it to continue to hook into the pocket, and it did.
Listen
just
to her.
like she said.
Live bowling continues on ESPN Sunday, October 28th from Miller Park with the 2007 USBC Masters, where the top PBA players compete for the title. The 2007 USBC Masters on ESPN Sunday, October 28th at 1 p.m. Eastern. For more information, log on to ESPN.com.
That's the same chit you had last time on lane 25, but this time the 7-pin responds. She gets a double and increases her lead.
Well, it's just about mandatory for Lynda Barnes to get something going on the right-hand lane. She's been perfect on the left, but needs to cut into that 19-pin lead of Liz Jonson. 5th frame, big shot.
She really trusted that ball.
It seems like the right-hand lane there is hanging a little bit, don't you feel?
Well, in the first match, the women were coming in a little bit high in the right-hand lane. Now, as the lanes have transitioned, they're coming in lighter. You watch this ball; it's just sort of it's laboring. It should be breaking now, and it's just coming in just that little bit late. She makes her spare, but you know, you were talking about when the lanes get a little bit tricky, how Liz Jonson has a really noted advantage because she keeps the ball so direct that it almost doesn't matter what the lanes are like. She's going to be hitting the pocket.
We used to have a saying on the PBA Tour, and I guess it's still out there, as straight as great. And if you look at the championship round action over a period of 20 or 30 years, as you have seen it, basically you find out that the player who goes the straightest on television does win the most often. When we come back, Christine will visit with 8-time PBA champion Chris Barnes. But first,